Madden football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Colts and the Cowboys. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic affair, as it'll be the AFC champion Indianapolis Colts taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gautin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. It's finally time for the main event here in 2025. Away we go in Super Bowl 59. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And now a stoppage, and it looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Pollard. No signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Prescott to throw it. The ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Cowboys have struck quickly here in the opening minute of this Super Bowl. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with a football. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the cornerback.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his 2nd NFL season, already getting his chance. And we harken back to Dan Marino, another superstar, made it in his 2nd year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, this
defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick-6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Looks good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. After the pick-6, they go right back to the air. They'll roll him out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's the option play now to the left. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so... And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that would overturn. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. He finds some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Here's Prescott. Being chased out left. Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Colts pick it up. 20, 10, and they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
That is caught by Lamb. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I'm thinking the heart of the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 2nd down.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. They run again with the fullback Burton. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The 2nd down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A big one here early in this Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And the Colts coming out now. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10.
Come on, hey!
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Back to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Handoff to the fullback, Burton. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Understandably, pass rushers keyed up for this Super Bowl, but you can't do that.
And let's face it, no one wants to lose one of these quarterbacks early in this game. So you know they're going to be protected by the officials.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
And that's a nice game by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. Another carry for Burton. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
How about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offensive coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
After 17-7 the score on EA Sports. Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They give to Burton, the fullback, at a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 3rd and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. Here's Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Prescott off play action. Sliding out of the pocket. This one into the hands of Burton. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Working with a 2nd and 3. To throw is Prescott. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. On play action, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
A partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Ready?
1st and 10, Taylor now. And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll set up to throw. As this complete to Woods. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Was this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around. And we know they'll be here before you know it.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. Look at end zone, and he's got his man. It's Woods. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Colts have got it back to within a score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they covered him with. If it's another big guy, you might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Let's take it inside his own 40. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Here's Tommy Townsend now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Touchdown, Cowboys! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Colts going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try to put points on the board.
That's caught inside the 20. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Colts in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's been no contest in terms of the rushing yards. You see a much, much brighter picture there. These 2 teams have had plenty of extra time to make their final adjustments, but time's just about up. The final half of the NFL season is upon us. So let's get it back out to our Super Bowl broadcast team. Here's Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now here's the option play going left. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And that one came close to hitting the big scoreboard up there as the fair catch is made inside the 20-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Throwing, Prescott. Flush to his right.
He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb.
Touchdown, Cowboys!
CeeDee Lamb,
67 yards.
and the Cowboys will extend their 3rd quarter lead here in the Super Bowl.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
The penalty is declined.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach, everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd and 6. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they throw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
The Colts send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers. He brings out this offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Prescott. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Pulled in at the 24. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. That's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
And caught up to him. Prescott. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
On 3rd and short, the fullback Burton. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
Dancing to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, he's been fun to watch in this when he's made the correct reads all game long and helped stake his team a huge lead. Running, passing, he's made all the right decisions. But that wasn't the right read on that one. It falls incomplete.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Chase Young coming in to drop it for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
That time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
to Taylor on first down. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got him in. Complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Second down, another run with Taylor. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on third down today, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. They need just a yard here, and he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And they have been the better of the two sides to this point with a 2-score lead, fourth quarter of this Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive, 1st and 10. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively, kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Prescott from the gun on third. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
That's good for the Cowboys.
A run for the fullback, Burton. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On the ground with a fullback, Burton. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 26. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with 2nd down coming up.
action now. Prescott. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. All on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. And he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Miko Hardman, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
Here we go.
On play action, they'll throw.
Open man downfield is Ridley.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor,
his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Colts have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Gay is on for the point after. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
And the tension ratcheting up all around. A 1-score game. 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Prescott off play action. Rolling to his right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
And the Cowboys are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Prescott to throw it. It's caught left side by Colts.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their 1st time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
the fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a Cowboys first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Patrick Queen, his 2nd sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. They run again with a fullback Burton. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the Colts now down by 7. And time, a huge factor. And they have to have a touchdown to level this Super Bowl as they come up on 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you play really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
And this is taken in at the 5. And the Dallas Cowboys will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. They are the kings of the NFL. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way. Didn't have to face some adversity in the journey. And now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.